I found the first note tucked under the front desk keyboard. For a second, I thought it was addressed to me. It was just a scrap of white printer paper, folded twice, wedged between the number pad and the counter. I pulled it out with 2 fingers, expecting another overdue fee reminder or event registration form. My fingers were shaking a little. Lately, they do that before the rest of my body catches up. Inside, in thick black marker, 3 days left. All caps, no name, no context. My mind went blank, then it latched onto the usual list. SAT, AP Chem retake, my parents' future talk. College portals, flipping to regret. My counselor earlier, I really hope you submitted something stronger for the other schools, Alex. The lights above the desk buzzed harder, like they had something stuck in their throat. The back of the paper was empty. This isn't about you, I told myself. Some trainer's attempt at motivation or something. I crumpled it up and tossed it. My chest stayed tight, but I went back to scanning key tags. The community center is a different place at night. Daytime is a mess of chlorine, whistles, and kids sprinting toward snacks. After 9, the whole building exhales. Footsteps echo, vents sigh, the windows turn into mirrors that make the lobby feel like a bright box floating in dark water. I've been closing since I was 15, 17 now. 3 nights a week, traded for minimum wage and a laundry cart of wet towels. My ex used to perch on the counter after his lifeguard shift. This place is going to fossilize you behind the lost and found, he'd say. Tonight, as he left, he just said, "You okay? You look tired." "Studying," I said. Nodded and slipped out. The door clicked. The building doubled its emptiness. He has house parties, group chats. I have buzz, hum, lights, and a clipboard. The second note showed up 2 nights later, almost 10. The water aerobics class had cleared out in a fog of lavender lotion. I was in the tiny staff kitchen rooting for the apple I left at the start of my shift. Gone. When I shut the fridge, there it was on the counter. Same folded scrap, same ink bleed. My stomach dropped. Someone's going to sink. The fluorescent flickered once. "Very funny," I muttered. My voice bounced around the cramped room like it didn't belong to me. A reel flicked on in my head, a kid slipping under, a lap swimmer going still, me frozen. It's a joke, I told myself. Swim team stuff. I walked it toward the trash, then slipped it in my pocket instead. I don't know why. On break, I sat at the front desk with the lobby lights dimmed, scrolling. The building hummed and clicked. The scoreboard numbers in the empty gym glowed like they were waiting for someone. The crooked paperback shelf leaned harder than usual, spines slouched together. Everyone else's life looked loud. Homecoming photos, campus tours, confetti screenshots. My own portal sat unopened. If I didn't tap, nothing bad could exist yet. A buzz from my mom. "Saw an email from Midlake. Did you check it?" The lights buzzed in sync with my pulse. I flipped my phone face down. A phantom vibration hit my hand. I grabbed the phone. Nothing there. Cool. New symptom unlocked. The lobby suddenly felt too wide. I decided to stack chairs. The multi-purpose room is worse at night. Half the lights were off. The bright side felt normal. The dark side looked grainy, like it was filmed through an old camera. Metal chairs clacked as I stacked them. My shadow lagged behind me by a beat. On the far wall, the CPR whiteboard still showed faded diagrams. Chain of survival, underlined twice. The supply closet next to it, ajar. It should be locked. "Hello?" No answer, just some far-off drip in the building's pipes. The closet smelled like dust and rubber. Light from the room sliced a triangle across the CPR mannequins on the top shelf, their plastic faces frozen in identical silent O's. I shut the door until the latch clicked. "Locked," I said quietly. But the word felt thin. The third note appeared the next night, taped to the window overlooking the pool. The water behind it looked darker than usual, the single overhead giving a flat, almost oily shine off the water. My reflection lagged half a second behind. The note was centered perfectly. It's already at the bottom. The hallway light buzzed harder. I tore it down. Who's leaving these? Nothing answered but the lobby clock. I pocketed the note like the others. By Friday, sleep was like a rumor. Closing alone, the building smelled like chlorine, old sweat, lemon cleaner. The HVAC shut off mid-breath, leaving the air thick and unmoving. I moved fast through the tasks. At the pool doors, I paused. The water was a flat, dark sheet. I pushed inside. The chemical smell hit me sharp. My footsteps echoed twice, once normal, once softer, like someone was just a step behind. I walked the edge, clipboard in hand. Halfway down, I saw it. A shape at the bottom of the deep end. My brain tried labeling it shadow, reflection, trick of light, but the longer I stared, the more certain it became. It had a form. My breath dropped. The clipboard clattered onto the tile. I didn't move toward it. I backed up until I hit the corner near the pump room door. I slid down the wall and folded in on myself, knees tight to my chest. The tile felt cold through my clothes. From that angle, the shape stayed perfectly still at the bottom, face down, arms at wrong angles, a dark smear where hair should be drifting. Every instinct in me fired at once. Jump, call, run, scream. None of it reached my body. I could only stare. My palms tingled, my chest buzzed like it was full of static. Even the tile felt like it was subtly tilting toward the deep end. I watched the water for a moment, looked for movement, a twitch, a shift, a bob. Nothing. I whispered, no, 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 because silence made it worse, like the shape could hear me. A reset hit me suddenly, like my brain rebooted enough to let a single thought through. If you're wrong, someone is dying. If you're right, you're sitting here terrified of a shadow. Neither option let me stay in the corner. Standing felt like lifting dead weight. My knees locked once before cooperating. Each step toward the deep end felt colder than the last, like the air temperature dropped as I approached. At the ladder, I grabbed the metal rail. It bit into my skin. From that angle, I finally saw the truth. The limbs were too still. The hair waved in uniform plastic strands. The skin was a molded, expressionless shade. A CPR mannequin. A shapeless, cracked sound left my mouth. Laugh, sob, something in between. I don't know. Even knowing what it was, I still felt watched. Only after several long breaths did the panic loosen. I got the pole, fished the mannequin up, and dragged it across the tile. Water traced an uneven trail behind us, like footsteps struggling to form. In the closet, I found the explanation. A stack of photocopied scavenger hunt sheets for the junior lifeguards. Clue 1, 3 days, left till test, check the front desk. Clue 2, someone's going to sink, look in the kitchen. Clue 3, it's already at the bottom, check the pool window. A game that never happened. I slid them back and shut the door. When I looked up, the lobby lights faded. My reflection hovered in the glass, tired, damp, smaller than I felt an hour ago. The mannequin wasn't the horror. The notes weren't either. The horror was how fast my mind stitched coincidences into inevitability, how quickly I believed I was already failing. I used to think I was afraid something terrible was going to happen. Walking out into the cold night, I realized the truth. I'm afraid of how easily I believe it already has. Sometimes the hardest part isn't the stress itself, but the stories it convinces us we're already living. Slowing down can open the space between us and fear and fact. For anyone caught in that loop, remember, thoughts can feel true long before they are. Slow down, take care of yourself, and take care of those around you. Thank you for joining us.